If you really knew me, you'd know that I love to tell stories. I love to tell all kinds of stories to all kinds of people. I tell folk tales and fairy tales from all over the world to my students in all my classes. I've also told stories that I wrote, and stories of things that I've experienced to adult audiences. But my favorite story to tell, of all the stories in the world, is the Odyssey, the story of Odysseus and his wanderings home from the war in Troy. I want to tell that story all the time. Why? Well, there are so many things in that story. It's a story about a war that begins with an apple and ends with a horse. And it has all the gods and goddesses of Olympus in it. There's Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Aphrodite, all of them. And there's adventures, of course, all the places Odysseus goes on his journey home. The land of the lotus eaters, where the people eat nothing but the lotus blossom, which makes them forget everything. And the Cyclops, the one-eyed giant who eats many of Odysseus' crew and will eat Odysseus as well, until cunning Odysseus finds a way to defeat him. And then to the island home of Circe, the enchantress who turns many of Odysseus' crew into pigs. And of course, there's a horrifying journey to Hades, the land of the dead. But it's not just an adventure story. It's also a love story. Odysseus spends 10 years fighting all sorts of dangers, lost on the wine-dark sea, longing only to catch a glimpse of wood smoke curling from his home in Ithaca and hold his wife Penelope in his arms once again. Now that's love. It is also the story about a boy's longing to see and know his father. For part of the story is about Telemachus, Odysseus' son, as he tries to discover if his father is alive or dead. I also love the poetry of the story. The Odyssey was first told and written as a poem, and as a poem has some of the most beautiful language ever written. And it rolls on your tongue as you tell it. Phrases like cunning Odysseus, the wine-dark sea, the rosy red fingers of dawn repeat throughout the story. And then there's the opening to the poem itself. Sing to me of the man, muse, the man of twists and turns, driven time and again off course. Once he had plundered the hallowed heights of Troy. Oh, that language is a joy to speak and to hear. If you really knew me, you'd know that I once got to tell part of the story at the very place it started. The ancient walled city of Troy, which is now in modern Turkey. As the poem says, well-founded, strong-built, and well-walled Troy. I was there, and by those ancient ruins, in the blazing heat of the summer, I told the story of the origins of the Trojan Wall to 50 Turkish school children, and all of us were transported to those ancient days when a golden apple, tossed from heaven by the goddess of discord, led to a 10-year war, and then a 10-year journey by Odysseus as he tried to find his way home. Now you really know me and know how much I love to tell the Odyssey.